Okay. Well, hello, everyone, and good morning. My name is Stephanie Foner, and I work in the Office of Alumni Relations at Northeastern. I work on our affinity and domestic engagement team, and it is my pleasure to bring events that are engaging and unique to our Northeastern community. Obviously, for the past year, that has been virtually, and it's just been a really exciting experience to allow us to connect more widely and also to bring new voices into the fold, including our host this morning, Hilal, who is joining us from Turkey. So just a couple housekeeping items. As I mentioned at the start, please select speaker view in your Zoom settings. It will be a much more focused experience for you if you have your speaker view on. That will keep Hilal in the center of your screen while she is going through her program. Please stay muted through the duration of the event to maintain the sound quality. And if you have any questions or are encountering any issues, please feel free to use the chat box. I'll be monitoring it. And then lastly, this program is going to run for about 30 minutes. There will be an optional Q&A on the end. Hilal has agreed to stay on for an extra few minutes if anyone has any questions or any thoughts that they'd like to share with her. We'll be keeping the event open for a few minutes after, so feel free to stay on for that as well if you have time this morning. And now I'd like to introduce our host today, Alumna Hilal Orhan. Hilal graduated from the Damore McKim School of Business, earning her MBA in 2003 with a focus on strategic planning. After graduation, she moved back to Turkey, where she now resides and has been one of the Istanbul community alumni leaders since the official community launch in 2009. For the last 12 years, Hilal has brought her professional, social, and spiritual experiences into a format that she calls From Self-Awareness to Self-Management, which enables people to understand themselves and tap into their own authentic source so that they are flexible enough to use their inner powers to adjust professional, social, and economic instability without taking on undue stress. Now I will turn the floor over to Hilal.
Yes, good morning, everyone, and to Boston. Thank you for inviting me. It's really lovely to connect with my husky buddies and also with Boston. It's springtime also here. So hello from Turkey and myself. Today's program, I would like to share about all the experiences that I put into a format. So it is going to be in a format of seminar, like a presentation, but actually I will be asking some questions to you. So during this 30 minutes, you might like to take this chance as a workshop that you, on the back of your head, while listening me, you can work on it and find out actually the first question. So shall I start or shall we wait a few more? All right, so we'll fully start now. So I would like to invite you for a minute of silence or so. And I would like to ask you the first question. As I shared, this is going to be in a presentation format, but with the questions, you can actually turn this into a workshop. So the first question, when I invite you to silence, and by the way, when I say silence, I mean not too much clutter in the mind. So let's focus only on one thought and one question. And the question is, who are you? How can you describe yourself? Or what do you identify yourself with? For the newcomers who just joined, hello, good morning. This is going to be a presentation, but yet with the questions that I'm going to throw, you can turn this into a workshop because our mind is very fresh in the morning and we are very energetic. So we can do maybe some silence in and use this energy to answer the first question: who are you? In your mind, or if you would like to write on a piece of paper, you can do so. So now I'm opening the silence moment and invite you to focus only one thought, and that's the question: who are you? For those who haven't finished to answer, I'm sorry if you have so many attainments and I cut it off. But I'm going to say that I can hear what you have already written, because how we describe ourselves, mostly what we have and what we have attained so far. So if the listeners age, I don't know your age groups, because some of the screen cameras are off, so I can't see. But if you like, we can make this interactive. So if you are available in your office or at home, you can open your cameras. But so what I was saying, I don't know your age groups, but your definition of who you are is probably related to what you're born into. So basically what you have, like name, fame, possessions, all these things of your family that you're born into, the country you're born into, the society you're born into, because you automatically have all those things. And then depending on your age group, all the things that you have attained. So basically, I can hear what you have written because most of the definitions entails what you have and what you have attained, which is great. But you haven't answered the question yet, because the question was, who are you? Whereas you answered what you have and what you have attained. We mistakenly believe that all, good education, talents, and success in life, business, social, family, whichever part of our life, because we generally compartmentalize as if like there's social, like there are too many I. So we kind of thought that all these attained, acquired qualities makes our inner well-being. Whereas with COVID, we were woken up like an alarm clock wakes everybody from sleep that you just woke up, baby. COVID woken us up because we realized that it is the other way around. Not the things that we have, all the things that we attain, which are great, but they are not our, they don't activate our well-being, inner well-being. It is the other way around. It is the inner qualities that we have actually activates and makes useful for us to use in life. So all the attainments can be, spoiled or can be turned into success. And we have seen who have done so far so good with COVID are the ones who really, know themselves. They stick to who they are, their inner core beings. So now I invite you, after giving you so much clue about who you are, I know, of course, a little bit, but I gave you some tips that what you are not. So I would like to repeat the question again, and I want to ask, who are you? When I invite you for a second silence. And let me again remind you that who you are is actually your inner qualities that makes you who you are. Such qualities that um, in the face of a crisis, in the face of difficulties, gives you motivation, uh, gives you courage, no matter what. You stick to it because you know who you are. You know that you can succeed. You know that you can, solve everything if it's a problem or a crisis. So let me invite you for a second kind of 2 minutes of silence, silence of the thought. And we are just focusing on the question, who am I? Who are you? And actually, Stephanie put a picture and gives you a, clue. So as if like in an examination, we have already had the clue here, right in front of our eyes. But we need to just interpret what it is, who I am. This could be my inner strengths, could be virtues, okay. So you can work on this question, this very simple but profound question all your life. That's I've been doing since 2007. And I love this journey of, questioning, not questioning because I suspect who I am. On the contrary, every day I wake up to explore. So by looking at the picture in front of us, we have seen in business, in social life, but mostly in business, there was an era that HR departments, companies, made their employees like there's the value test before they employ someone. The IQ was very important. Then I will pass these things because we know all these things. As I said, this presentation, I want it very practical because I want to give you my practical examples. So all these things, if you want to read in detail, you can. So there was the IQ era. Then we moved into the EQ era because they noticed that high IQ people cannot work in a team setting. And I know in my second year at Northeastern, we had a teamwork of projects because I did a degree without any thesis, but it was a practical, like we pick up a company and work on that company, and that was our presentation. It worked like a thesis. So then I noticed a few things in myself that I managed so far so good in terms of the EQs because it really necessitates the teamwork and understanding the abilities of other people. But the first thing is to understand myself, my capacity, my potential, so I can tune into. And if I can see some lacking bit, I can check and change with the situations that I can get help in the sense that lessons, real life experiences are great lessons to me. And I love the school of life or from our classmates or colleagues or neighbors in the society. Then there was the era this wasn't enough either, EQ. Now we moved into the SQ, which is the spiritual intelligence level. Q, I looked it up yesterday, but this is my foreign languages, I forgot. So SQ is a measurement about the spiritual intelligence. So the more you are spiritually intelligent, you can actually tap into your real self and you can work or you can activate your outer attained, acquired qualities. So now the question comes, and we can actually close this picture, and I can be on the screen. You can actually, by discovering yourself, you gain twice. You tap into your own source. Not only that, but also by tapping into your own source, you can activate all the things you have and all the things that you have acquired. Now, that's why the self-awareness is very important and it is very crucial and it's for a lifetime. There is no school for it. There is no certificate program for this. The school is life and the language is silence and the language we use is thought and love. So now I would like to explain a bit after I think pretty much stressed on why awareness is so important. Now I would like to move into how your self-discovery is going to help you in life, because why we work, why we do what we do in work setting, in life, in social life. And by the way, there is no compartment, little life sections, because I'm only one. I'm eternal, and I have life, and I don't want to self-suffocate myself by compartmentalizing myself. So by doing that, by becoming aware of my whole being and my inner well-being, I can actually fulfill myself, because all of us do what we do is to be happy, to be content. No one in the world does what they do for the contrary. So we know that. So for that reason, self-awareness helps me. And now let's talk about how bit. When I'm aware of who I am, first of all, I meet myself, because in life we have, I see that everybody has three kinds of IDs. One ID is the ID. When I say ID, it's like the perception that is given or imposed on us since childhood. One is the perception of others about us. But when I say others, I mean starts with family, and then along the life journey, the schoolmates, teachers, and then work life. So perception of others, this is one. And who I feel or believe that who I am was given to me or imposed on me by situations. Then in life, I've seen that by crisis, because these three things, people's perception that I see in the face of situations, like normal life situation, But also the third one is the crisis. And so far, so good. We are all here. I think we have done good during COVID times. But it's good to discover even more about ourselves. And so, in order to bring this three perceived explanation of who I am, let's move into only one, and that is the eternal one. And as we have seen, it is not who I am. So far, I have already shared what you are not, who you, what is who you are not. I think so far we have understood this. Then let me go into then if these perceptions are not correct, who I am. And that's the journey. And for that journey, for people who are interested in, because they in life they want to be happy, they don't want to fluctuate, they want to really manage their thoughts, manage their feelings. And when I say manage, in the good sense, like they want to be aware of themselves, they don't want to be up and down in their happiness, in their joy. So for those of you who listen, if you would like to apply this life study in your life, which I also learned from the Brahma Kumaris World Spiritual University, here is the kind of process that I've noticed, and I come up with this cycle of processes, series of processes that I call it from self-awareness to self-management. And I invite Stephanie to share this picture. Yes. Now, we have talked a little bit about self-awareness, why this question, who I am, is very important, because it's the foundation. It's like constructing a building. Foundation is very important. So it may take years or days, I don't know, depending on the willingness and tapping into your own, self. So after self-awareness, maybe in the beginning, eliminating what you are not. So basically, you can find your true self, your inner core. And then I move into the self-esteem bit, because during this step from awareness to esteem, or you can say self-worth, self in a bit understanding, you lose some of the things, qualities that you thought you were, like acquired attainments. And in that second step or stage, I need to self-value what I'm left with. And at that stage, when I really understand and when I did my work properly in the first stage of self-awareness, I don't feel that I lack anything, I'm missing any quality. So basically in life, I'm not seeing life as a, I don't know, like doing more and more and more, learning more and more, buying more and more. What I have is what I need, and I'm content with it. I gave the example as if something from outside for you to understand, but actually it's non-physical value. So I'm content who I am, and I don't lack anything. And then we move into acceptance. So when I see that what I am, actually I need to be in acceptance, because in life everybody's five senses are working outside. We see what others have, we see what our others' success is. So it in connection with the self-esteem, I really need to embrace myself. And again, acceptance require the two stages that needs to be done properly, the awareness and esteem stage. Then we need to move into acceptance. Of course, this is not a physical steps that you take like you take on a ladder. It may be simultaneous, but to stress that each one is very crucial and very important. And it may work individually, but also simultaneously. And then acceptance also bring fulfillment to me because I stop comparing myself with others. You know what I have attained or not attained or have not have. And self-respect is the real respect actually in life. Respect, I notice that starts with me when I'm respect with myself. First of all, to start with the body I'm given, because I'm a being, a spiritual being. I'm not a doer. I'm not a person who possess, or thinks, but I am just a being. And in that being, in that awareness, I develop a respect for who I am, for my real being. And when I respect myself, I actually respect the whole universe. I'm not going to say you respect your family members, your elders, nature, five elements, the whole thing. Because at that stage, as if I felt kind of oneness. It's like oneness in the sense that there is no physical time. It's like endless. There is no physical barrier in my life, or I notice that I stop self-sabotating myself. Where, on the contrary, I notice that I want to tap into my inner potential, inner qualities, which I'm going to talk about what these inner qualities are. I noticed that I'm more respectful to others as well. So after this half the way of the whole cycle, I will quickly finish it. Then I can do self-checking because now I know who I am. I'm not going to answer this question because on our life journey, each one of us have this responsibility to answer. We have this humble responsibility to universe, to each other, to self-discovery. And when I do that, I am willingly checking myself, not comparing myself, but checking myself in the situations in against virtues and spiritual powers, not other people, how they do what they do. And then by doing this, I can empower myself. And in order to empower myself, of course, I need a kind of a power sort of power station. And the power station is, I want to give you this example, this metaphor. I'm going to wrap it up in 5 minutes. I think we are in, yes, 30 minutes. I would like to give this metaphor of mobile phones. Each one of us have mobile phones. So now synonym, uh, the body I'm going to use, the body as if like a mobile phone will be a synonym for our bodies. So in order to empower, in order to charge the mobile phones, every night we plug in and we energize ourselves. So likewise, empowerment also means that focusing on who I am. And by doing so, you realize that there is the Almighty, there is one source, one power station that you are energized with. Because otherwise, how I have this body that I occupy, I'm not heating it, but I have almost 37, hopefully, because we have COVID. Hopefully everyone has 37 degrees Celsius. I forgot the Fahrenheit equivalent of it. So then transformation, really transformation starts. And transformation means not changing the whole transformation. It's for the better starts. And when it happens, you realize that your life is just so beautiful, like a movie that you create. It's like a piece of art that you select a beautiful colors to from the palette of color scheme, and you design your life picture, and that's called self-management. So I'm in this virtue journey, well, life journey, I was going to say, but good that I got some empowerment that the word came out, virtue. So the tools that we haven't mentioned, yes, we are going to connect with the Almighty or God or Allah or what we say. But definitely there's a source of this mobile phone that I need to plug in. And by doing so, actually, we get to know ourselves. We get to know what qualities we are designed for. What is the purpose of our life? Because everything has a purpose. And can you imagine, like me having a pen, but a pen, I use it like a cutting a piece of cheese, like well, feta cheese. It's called, but we have the same cheese anyways. So it's not the purpose of this is to write. So I have a purpose, and to discover this is my humble responsibility to universe, but to start um, responsibility to myself. And to do this, you can, I think Stephanie already shared some links with you for those who have registered. You can discover your inner qualities and inner spiritual powers to discover yourself from New England Meditation Center of Raj Yoga. Or if you are joining from outside US, you can look it up, BK um, WSU. So the initials are like Brahma Kumari's World Spiritual University, B as a boy, K as key, WSU.org. You can look it up and you can find the nearest center in your country, in your city. And for those who would like to introduce this from self-awareness to self-management at your companies or in your workplace or universities, maybe as like a non-degree course or for the HR departments, you can always contact with me, as well as New England Meditation Center for Brahma Kumaris World Spiritual University. Thank you for joining me. I'm here at whatever questions you may have, but I'm not going to answer one question. The question is who you are. That question cannot be asked. So if there is any other, please do so. And I would love to point you into the direction of silence, and maybe to the direction of inspiration, because that's what I would like to share. Once you are inspired, and once you are inspired to have the silence, to set some time for yourself, as we have now in the early morning hours, not that early actually, but in the early hours, that's my wish today. If I can give you a piece of inspiration to learn the language of love and silence, so you can sit and on a plane of your thoughts, and you can discover yourself, because in none of the education systems we were taught how to manage our thoughts and emotions. And when I say manage, Now you understand me in the good sense. We were not taught. Thoughts are our energy. And once I put a really beautiful thought, seed of thought, I can water it and it becomes, tulip or daffodil in Boston Gardens. Om Shanti, as we say, I'm a spiritual being and I am peace. Now, microphone is over to you, to our listeners. Thank you for listening me, and I hope you'll be inspired.
Thank you so much, Halal. If anyone has any questions, we have a few minutes, and we would be happy to take those. You can put them in the chat box, or we're a small enough group. If you'd like to speak them out loud, you can as well. And if not, I know it's the start of many folks' work days here on the East Coast. So thank you so much for joining us. And we'll wait a few minutes.
And thank you. I'm checking the chat box. Thank you for your good wishes and your sharings. Let me also check if there is any written, maybe in the workplace, in their cube, they spared some time, but can't say it with voice. Yeah, recording, I think, will be sent.
Yeah.
For those who would like to who would like to watch and needed to leave earlier. Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank
I
you.
think yes.
Yeah,
No
thank you
question.
everyone. And Halal's
So
contact information will be in a follow-up email as well. So if anyone wants to connect directly with her, you will have the opportunity to do that. So be on the lookout for that email towards the end of today. And then sometime tomorrow, you will be receiving the event recording. And have a wonderful day, everyone. Thank you so much again for joining us.
thank you and bye bye. Have a lovely day and weekend.